Welcome to a brand new episode of the Jordan Davis Podcast. I am your host, Jordan Davis, and on today's episode, I'm going to be talking about my most anticipated movies slash TV shows in 2020. Also, I'm going to be talking about the concept art of the Rise of Skywalker and what the movie we could have got. But before I talk about that, I want to thank everyone who listened, watched my last podcast episode about Ben Solo. It got over 1,000 views. I want to thank everyone that took their time to just listen to me and talk about Ben Solo. And if you want to listen more, I talk about DC, Marvel, Star Wars, and any kind of blockbuster news. Just comment, like, subscribe, do all that. Even share. Tell your friends about the podcast. And I would really appreciate it. So now that we got all that out of the way, let's get into the topic. Let's get into the episode. What are my most anticipated TV and movies of 2020? So I was thinking a lot about this, even going into the 2020 year, because there are some things to be excited for, but in my opinion, not as much as 2019, because I think you had Game of Thrones, you had the Rise of Skywalker, and that excitement in 2019. And obviously, you had Infinity War, you had um, Endgame, and with that whole 22 movie arc that was going to end with Endgame ending in 2019. So we had some big things to look forward to. And when I was thinking about 2020, it was kind of weird because there wasn't really anything big happening. So I had to think just a little bit then as the year went on. It's like, oh, I'm excited for that. Oh, I'm excited for that. So I think I'm going to start off with number five. And I think number five for me is the movie Sonic the Hedgehog. Now, before I saw the latest trailer of Sonic, it was not even close at all to my most anticipated because it looks so bad. But I have to give it up to the studio who is making Sonic. They redesigned him. They made him actually look like Sonic, not something we have never seen before. Pleasing the fans, giving what the fans want. A great Sonic movie, and from the latest trailer, from at least from what I've seen, they're really doing that. They got the attitude of Sonic. They really got the everything that you wanted from the games into this movie. But I don't know how the movie is going to be. I really don't. But from what I can see from the trailer, it has a very good chance to be a fun movie. I'm not saying it's going to be one of the best movies in 2020. I'm not saying it at all. It could be. I don't know. But from what I've seen and from what I've seen from Jim Carrey in this movie, he looks like he's going to be very wacky, very fun, very Ace Ventura kind of bad guy kind of thing going on. And I think that's going to be pretty fun. And so I think if you just look at it for what Sonic is going to be and how fun it could be, I think this has the chance to be a really fun and exciting movie that I think I'm excited for if everything turns out well. And if you ask me that, like, when the first trailer came out, before the redesign and everything, I would say you were crazy. But I think they're finally on the right track, and I think this movie can make decent money because of what it did with the redesign. So I have to say that is my number five most anticipated movie slash TV show. And I'm just really excited to see what it gives me. So going to number four, I think it has to be Clone Wars, especially from what I saw in the trailer yesterday. Now, I'm still really catching up on Clone Wars. I don't know much about Clone Wars, but from what I've seen, I really like it. And there are some, people that don't, and that's totally okay. I have no problem with that. But from what I've seen, it just gives Star Wars just much better, rich lore. And it just fills up the gaps between the Attack of the Clones and the Revenge of the Sith. And I think that's wonderful. I think to add to Star Wars in any way is a great thing for Star Wars. And however they're going to do that with this final season that's going to be on Disney Plus, I'm really excited on how they're going to use Ahsoka because I became a huge, I wouldn't say huge, but a bigger fan than Ahsoka than I was before. And I'm at a point as I want Ahsoka in live action. I think that would be really fun to see her in live action. I think she might be even a popular character after this Clone Wars final season. That let's go for it. Let's go for Ahsoka in live action. I think that would be great. Um, yeah, and so I think whatever this final season of Clone Wars is going to give us, I think it's going to be satisfying in some way or shape or form. If we're just leaving out the Skywalker saga, Star Wars has always had a history of giving us great and satisfying things. Doesn't matter in comics, animation, however they end things, they end it in a pretty satisfying way. And I think you really have to really thank Dave Filoni on that because what he did with Rebels, I really love what he did with Rebels. With everything that he touched and created with Rebels, I thought it was really, really good. And what he did with the Mandalorian, I don't exactly remember what episode um he directed, but he had a huge part in that series, and I thought it was really good. So I think we have a lot to look forward to in the Clone Wars in this final season, and however it's going to end, I think we're going to have a lot of Star Wars fans talking about it. And which I think that's a good thing to really get everyone's mind off of the Rise of Skywalker and everything that happened between the Rise of Skywalker and with how they handled Ben Solo and all that. And I'm going to talk about that more with the concept art that's been being revealed for the last couple of weeks. So, yeah, the Clone Wars is my fourth most anticipated thing that I have to look forward to in 2020 because it's another thing coming to an end, and it it just looks like we're gonna be pleased of what they give us. No, I was saying that for the Rise of Skywalker, but I think this is under different kind of issues, and I think most of the people will like the ending of this, from what I can tell. But we're really gonna have to wait and see on that. So, going to number three, and this was a difficult one for number three, but from the trailer I saw, Morbius, the Living Vampire from Sony, I think that's going to be very, very interesting and got me excited for being my number three most anticipated movie slash TV show in 2020 because of that trailer Sony released. It was new. It was fresh. Um, it gave me some Spider-Man connections, giving us Vulture at the end, and I just thought that was really smart for Sony to do that. Now I don't know if that was the ending of the movie. There could be like a new ending that we haven't seen yet, and that cameo is gonna be a big part in the movie. So maybe Sony's just like, let's just show them because we're gonna be showing Michael Keaton a lot in this movie. That could be the case. I don't know. But from what I saw from the trailer and from what I saw from Jared Leto, I think this has a chance to be a good movie. And I'm not saying it's gonna be Venom. I don't think it's gonna make as much as Venom, but I I have said that I did like Venom. There were some weird parts of Venom, but from what I liked in Venom was the relationship between Venom and Eddie Brock. I don't know what I'm gonna like in Morbius. I just know Jared Leto is a great actor, even at times a fantastic actor. And I'm really interested in seeing how he's going to portray Morbius, because the only thing I know of Morbius is from the animated Spider-Man TV show. And that's all. That's all I know. So it's going to be very interesting how Sony is going to be taking this movie and this character. And I think it's pretty obvious that Sony is setting up the Sinister Six. I think that's perfectly obvious if you know the comics and what you can see how they are setting that up with Vulture, with Scorpion, with Shocker. Maybe if you put Venom into that, and then you put Morbius, then you have, that's six uh, for a Sinister Six to really take on Spider-Man. But yeah, I'm I guess I would say I'm more intrigued than excited, but I still think it's at number three for me for 2020. So yeah, I think I'm just very interested to see what Sony's gonna do with this new MCU Spider-Man deal they have with Marvel, and how many movies they're going to move forward with. Is it just two, or are they gonna extend it even more? And I think that's going to be interesting in how they answer that, or if they answer it at all with Morbius and how they're setting up their Spider-Man universe. So let's go on to number two. And I had a little bit of thinking about number two and number one. I couldn't really decide. It was kind of difficult because any day I can flip flop on these two. But I came to decision on it, and I think my second most anticipated movie of 2020 is Black Widow. Now, with Black Widow, I wasn't sure if I wanted to see this movie. I really wasn't. Because I always thought maybe it was just too late. Maybe it was just 5, 10 years too late and it just wouldn't fit. Because I thought how they ended Black Widow was kind of a mixed bag for me. I liked I liked her in Endgame, but I just thought it was pretty shady of Marvel how they ended um the Black Widow character. And I just thought she should be in the final battle. I really do. I just thought with that big, female superhero moment in Endgame, Black Widow should have been a part of that. She she just should have, and I think that was very disappointing that she wasn't. So I think that was one of my issues before going into this movie, but since seeing two trailers of it so far, I'm on board with it. I'm on board what Black Widow is gonna give me to the MCU. Was this movie gonna enhance for my love for Black Widow? And I think that's something I'm looking forward to. And it's gonna have great action. It's gonna have Scarlett Johansson just really going all out on this role, like she always has. But I think the trailers I've been seeing and everything I'm hearing from Black Widow, I'm excited for it. I'm excited enough to put it on number two, and it should be interesting. Like I said, what this movie's going to give me, because before the second trailer, I really wasn't that interested. I really wasn't interested in seeing a Black Widow movie. But Marvel did its job. They got me excited. They got me interested. They got me want to see this movie in theaters. And bravo on them. And that's what they're supposed to do. And I don't know how they're gonna end the movie. Is this just gonna be a one-off movie? Is this actually gonna be a trilogy? Because I don't know how you make a Black Widow trilogy when she's actually dead. Or maybe they're just going to make the next two Black Widow movies not with Scarlett Johansson. I think that's pretty dumb. I doubt that's gonna happen, but Marvel has done crazier things and they have succeeded. So I wouldn't put anything past Kevin Feige. So yeah, I think I'm pretty excited for Black Widow. And I'm excited for what it's gonna give me. Okay, now going to number one, my most anticipated, excited movie in 2020 is Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman 84. And I have to say, I've been really excited for Wonder Woman for a long time. For this sequel, Wonder Woman 1984. And I've said in the past, I do like Wonder Woman. The first two acts of the first Wonder Woman movie was really great. I just thought the third act just didn't mix well with the rest of the movie that we got. But that does not mean I'm not excited for Wonder Woman 1984 because how they are giving giving us things in this movie, I am really excited about. I'm really excited about how Wonder Woman Diana Prince looks like. I'm very interested in what they're gonna do with Steve Trevor. It's kind of like the roles are reversed from in the first Wonder Woman movie, and I think that's very interesting to me. And I want to see how they deal with why Steve Trevor is in this movie and how did he come back to life. I think that's going to be answered very quickly in the movie, and so I'm very excited how they're going to deal with it because one of the things I loved about the first Wonder Woman movie was the romance between them. Their chemistry was on fire. I really enjoyed it. And obviously, we're gonna get Cheetah in this movie, a Wonder Woman villain who's being played by Christian Kristen Wiig. Sorry, Kristen Wiig. And I'm very interested in what she's gonna do in that kind of role, in a villainous kind of role. As we all know her from Saturday Night Live and other movies, but she's never been in this kind of role in a villainous superhero kind of movie like Wonder Woman 1984. And so that should be very interesting to see how that plays out. But I have to say, one thing I have not liked so far about Wonder Woman 1984 is that golden armor bird suit. It's just, I that's just not me. Maybe it's much better in the movie, but from what I can see, it's like I don't know about that. I mean, you can look online if you want to see for yourself, but it's like a golden American eagle that she's wearing, and I'm just not feeling it right now. Like I said, I might like it in the movie, so I might change my mind on that particular kind of armor. But from right now, from what I've seen, not a big fan of it. But the rest of Wonder Woman's improved, you know, outfit, loving it. And I'm really looking forward to what Gal Gadot can really bring to the Wonder Woman role because I thought she was good, but I want her to really make it her own, really become great because I've always said, man, she looks amazing as Wonder Woman. I just need her to really get her acting chops up there because I think she can. So I'm very interested how she will be in this movie and how will Wonder Woman 1984 move the DCEU forward because there's a lot of things that are changing in the DCEU and it's going to be very interesting if they allude to anything of the future of it. Now, it doesn't need to be something big, but I think maybe teases to what is happening. Start giving them some teases about what is next for Wonder Woman. What is next for her world? Is she gonna start meeting some other people? Is she gonna start meeting Shazam? She's going to be in contact with Aquaman again. Who knows? But I'm really excited for potentially what they do with the future of Wonder Woman and for the future of DC and the DCEU. And yeah, I think 2020 could be a really big year for movies and TV show, and especially for the DC movies, because you got Wonder Woman, you got Birds of Prey, and you got those two movies for DC, but they can really be big game changers. So yeah, I think there's a lot to be excited about for 2020, a lot for movies, TV shows, and all of that. And I'm from what I'm for one cannot wait to see what happens in the blockbuster world for movies in 2020, which I am very excited to see. And you can always count on the Jordan Davis podcast to always talk about it and always bring you the news. So through all the year, you can always count on me to talk about it on the Jordan Davis podcast. So stay tuned for this year. So for the last topic of of the episode, I want to talk about the crazy news of the concept art that's been going around for the Rise of Skywalker from Lucasfilm pulling the art book from getting leaked concept art of the Con Trevorrow script. There's been so many crazy things going on with this movie, from behind the scenes, from script leaks to everything. And it's just been one crazy ride. And and I have to say, from seeing those from seeing those art book leaks and everything that we've been hearing from the Con Trevorrow script, I think there was a good movie. There was a good Rise of Skywalker movie being developed by Lucasfilm that we all wanted. I truly believe that. And I just believe Lucasfilm, now looking back at it, Lucasfilm dropped the ball. I just think if JJ took the Con Trevorrow script or even the ideas and put it into the movie we know now, I think it would be so much better. Obviously, there are some things in that Colin Trevorrow script that I don't like, but I think if you take the good things of the JJ and Chris Terrio script and the good things from the Colin Trevorrow script and you just mesh them together, I think that movie would satisfy people in the right way. And yes, it still has been so dying in each one of them, but I think it would give us a satisfying ending for Ben Solo than what we got in The Rise of Skywalker. It wouldn't have been so open ended. And I've always said this about The Rise of Skywalker. I think I said this in the last episode. You don't end a saga and make one character's ending open ended if you don't mean to bring him back. I fully expect him to come back, Ben Solo, but I, I truly believe that the Rise of Skywalker, from all we've been hearing, should have been two movies. Should have been part one. It should have been part two. And I just think it was just a patch up, a rushed movie that should have taken more time. And just to this day, it just looks rushed. The editing is horrible. It really is. And it shows through the concept art of both JJ and Colin Trevorrow's script and ideas that they had, that this should have been a much better movie. Should have been a much better movie. No doubt. And with the whole Ben Solo stuff, I think in some time frame we will get Ben Solo back. We will get Ben Solo back alive in the Star Wars universe. I mean, we're getting a Obi-Wan series on Disney Plus. Did we ever think we would see Obi-Wan again? Some people were giving up hope for a movie or TV series, but now we're getting that TV series. So maybe down the line, 5, 10 years, we will actually get a TV series or even a movie of Ben and Rey reuniting. It's a big possibility. You can never say never in Star Wars. You just can't. And so anything is possible in Star Wars, and that includes bringing back Ben Solo. Because if you could bring back Palpatine, anything is possible. And you could think in so many ways, and I've seen so many ways you can bring him back. I mean, plenty of Ben Solo fans, plenty of Reylo fans that write tremendous fan fiction. I mean, it's so easy to bring him back. It's just on Lucasfilm on saying when is he gonna come back and how he's gonna come back. I think that's gonna be the issue. I really do. And however how long it takes, it might take a while, but we just have to wait and see on that. But I do believe he is coming back, some way or form, comic book, novel, TV series, or even movie. I do think he's coming back, and I think we just have to be patient. And with the concept art and everything, I just think Lucasfilm really dropped the ball on this movie, and it shows in everything that they're trying to prevent or recall. It's just not looking good for Lucasfilm, and maybe they do need that break. Maybe do need that break from the movies and just focus on their TV series and their comics and their novels and everything like that. And just need to take a break from the movie side and just, give the Star Wars fan a break. To keep their mind on TV shows, keep their mind on the Clone Wars, keep their minds on the Mandalorian. So maybe that's what needs to happen. But tell me, what do you think? What did you think about this leaked concept art and everything that's going around with the Rise of Skywalker, the movie that we could have gotten? And also, what is your most anticipated movies, TV shows, anything in 2020? It could be books, it could be comic books, be anything. What are you most excited for in 2020 concerning entertainment, movies, everything? I want to know from you. Give me some feedback of what you're excited for in 2020. Put it down in the comments below. I would really love to hear from you. But for today, this is going to be the end of the episode. I want to thank you for listening to me. And until next time, I hope you have a wonderful and blessed week. And until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.